put your hands together for somebody that's come to our community. They have changed our community. They have built teams that has every race, every religious background, every age group, all the way from elementary to the senior citizens. Dave has come and helped touch lives here. And even when he's doing other things, the people that he's helped start, from myself to other people who names may not be humble enough to tell you Dave was there. You know, that's part of Grand Rapids, but I'm humble enough to tell you he was there at my start, and that's why I am happy to be here today to introduce to you my friend with a special announcement, David Allen.
Thanks, Rob. I guess we can all just go home now because he said it all. That's what happens when you give a celebrity a mic. Before I get started, I just got a couple of quick words before I officially make the announcement. I really want to thank my family. Many of you know that I served for 7 years on the school board. That's a tough elected position. It doesn't get a lot of thanks and gets a lot of complaints, and they stuck with me through that. And as we've talked over the past year leading up to this decision, they fully supported me and said and encouraged me to do this. I want to thank my wife and my children, because it's not just the candidate that runs, their whole family runs, and you all get put under the spotlight. So I thank them for that. Secondly, I would be very remiss if I didn't say a special word of thanks to outgoing Commissioner Eli Lumpkins. And I'm going to be very, very brief here, but I think this is important to note. There was at one time a stay-at-home mom whose kids were in high school and she didn't know what to do with her life, and she decided to take a course at CC. She succeeded in that first course and said, man, I think I kind of like this. So she enrolled in a second course, and at that time, this stay-at-home mom, her husband wasn't making a lot of money because he was running a very small nonprofit trying to make ends meet. And she saw her book list, and her books were going to cost $150, so she was in the hallway at the Learning Center up on Wealthy crying. And who saw her in the hallway but Eli Lumpkins? And he took her in his office and he said, what's going on? And she says, I got to enroll in the second class and I can't afford the books. He said, books should never be a barrier for you not to get your education. So he got her a grant to pay for her books. Today, that stay-at-home mom is the highest educated member of both families. She has her master's degree in family life education, and that woman is my wife. So I want to say thank you to you. And I literally can stand here today and say it would not be possible without Commissioner Lumpkins, and that's the kind of person he is. Last August, I sat down with Commissioner Lumpkins prior to term limits, and I asked him, do you intend on running again? Because if you're going to run again, I'm going to support you. And he said, no, I'm not going to run again. My health doesn't allow that. So I made my intentions clear to him that I intended to run. He gave me his full support, although not endorsement yet, hopefully, but really encouraged me to consider running. So over the past several months, I've been talking to multiple leaders in the community across all sectors, just gathering their feedback and gathering their wisdom. So today I'm happy to announce my candidacy for the 3rd Ward City Commission seat here in Grand Rapids. Just a couple more words, because I know it's cold, and I know many of you probably want to get back and watch the NCAA games. So Rob kind of stole a little bit of my thunder, but I would encourage you to look around this neighborhood and look around as far as the eye can see. And I can tell you that 10 years ago, when my wife and I moved into this building, it had been abandoned for 25 years. We literally climbed over animal carcasses to get in to take a look at it. And the day we moved in, if you stood up in our 2nd floor window and looked out, as far as the eye could see, other than Tony from Tones Electric and his mom, not one single human being lived on this block. Let me repeat that. Not one single human being lived on this block. These houses weren't there. None of these houses around here had been renovated. That building wasn't there. Link's offices weren't there. Avenue Apartments weren't there. The townhomes weren't there. So how did that happen? I didn't do it. One single human being couldn't do that. But what it takes for something like this in a neighborhood like this to transform is a visionary that can build a team, that works on collaboration, that clearly and evidently wants the voice of the neighborhood to be involved in this and for them to take ownership of it, and works in collaboration. One of the things that I am the most proud of is that the first $1 million of development that Lighthouse now Link, did when I was the executive director. The first $1 million, 78% of that $1 million went to a minority-owned contractor or supplier. 93% of that went to a contractor or supplier within a half-a-mile radius of this intersection. So it wasn't just about building that building down there at Avenue Apartments, it was about the contractors, and many of those contractors are here today. I see Isaac Norris, who's designed much of the buildings in this neighborhood. I see Huss and his team, which did the framing down there. I see Todd Cross, who's continually working on our projects and has works on land bank projects right now. I'm going to miss somebody. My point in this is that you literally cannot go anywhere in the 3rd Ward and not find the resource that you need to build anything you need to build. Grand Rapids is amazing right now. You can't pick up a publication online or otherwise and not read Grand Rapids is the best place to ... fill in the blank. But what gets swept under the rug is Forbes magazine's recent report when they looked at all the metropolitan areas in the United States of America, and they looked at economic stability and economic viability of the African Americans, and Grand Rapids was the 2nd worst metropolitan area in the United States of America for African Americans. The Bureau of Labor and Statistics just came out with an unemployment report at the end of 2014. Grand Rapids was had the 9th highest unemployment rate amongst African Americans, 2 steps behind Detroit. So the minute you hear people in West Michigan say, well, we're not Detroit, guess what? We're only 2 steps behind when it comes to economic viability and jobs for African Americans. So how do we do that? How do we close that gap? Because if Grand Rapids isn't successful for everybody, it's not successful. We need to get very creative with contracts. If developers and builders are going to get contracts to get tax breaks and tax incentives, the City Commission and the leadership of this city needs to find creative ways to incentivize, encourage, and sometimes just even force those contractors to hire local contractors, local people, local jobs. We've done it. When I was on the school board, I was president, we passed the bond issue. The 2nd year after that, I was the chairman of the finance committee. We put together one of the most creative bond packages, bid packages ever done in a public school setting. Anybody that wanted to bid on any of those public school jobs had to have local contractors as a part of their bid package in order to win that award. And from that, there is a myriad of businesses that are currently operating and taking advantage of this building boom because they were able to get a piece of those construction contracts with Grand Rapids Public Schools. So should I be blessed enough to be chosen as the next 3rd Ward City Commissioner, I can assure you I will work hard every single day to make sure that every single area of the 3rd Ward, that their voice is heard, that we're working together in unity, because I've done it across every line, and to work on closing those gaps that so desperately needed to be closed. So I thank you for coming today, and I hope I have your support, and I am very accessible. My door, well, not almost always, but it's usually open. So I'll hang around for a little bit in case you have any questions, but I'm really thankful that you came out here to celebrate this announcement with me. Thank you.